to start your free 7-day trial.
It's been 14 months since Hurricane Ian, and more than 80,000 Floridians are still fighting for their insurance payouts.
Yeah, the Category 4 hurricane came ashore with 150-mile-per-hour winds and 12 feet of storm surge, leaving coastal communities in southwest Florida ruined, and businesses still are shuttered.
And today marks 6 months until the start of the next hurricane season. And so Florida is ready for yet another major hurricane.
And the Weather Channel's national correspondent, Justin Michaels, went there to find out if they are ready. And Justin, yes, the cleanup continues even from Ian, but we still have, a lot of scar tissue, not only on people, but also on the landscape.
Well, and like Dr. Postel said, those 80,000 people still wanting to get their insurance payouts. It's a battle right now. Lawsuits, all sorts of things going on. But as we now start the countdown to the next hurricane season, 6 months from today, June 1st, remember, that's when it kicks off, is Florida ready? And that's a question I asked every expert we talked to, and everybody we talked to brought up the dreaded words hurricane tax. Watch. September 28th, 2022. Hurricane Ian slams southwest Florida with winds as high as 160 miles per hour and a storm surge topping 10 feet. Fort Myers Beach was one of the hardest hit areas. More than a year later, streets are still in shambles. Buildings still closed. Progress is slow, but insurance payouts even slower.
We thought we would be back in the next couple months. It's just, the whole thing is a bizarro world.
Jim Adderholt is still not back in his 9th floor condominium.
We were denied individual policy insurance for loss of use because we can't live there. It's been over a year. The building still cannot be lived in.
So, what happens when the next big one hits? We asked Citizens Property Insurance CEO Tim Serio.
Under Florida law, we are required to assess the policyholders of Florida who have other forms of insurance with other private companies, but to assess them to pay citizens' claims.
Citizens Property Insurance is the state-backed insurer of last resort, and now the largest after several private companies went under or left the state altogether. Another major hurricane would wipe out its surplus, leaving all policyholders to foot the bill.
Citizens would be allowed to implement a surcharge not only to its own customers, but to consumers across the state, regardless of who your insurance company is and what type of insurance you have, whether it's home, auto, even pet insurance.
A surcharge, often referred to as a hurricane tax, tacked on top of existing premiums. And it could be as much as 45% for Citizens customers, and not far off that increase for policyholders with other companies.
And that's why it's a very dangerous situation when your state backstop insurer becomes such a large marketplace.
Adderholt, meanwhile, hired an attorney and sued his insurance company.
Unfortunately, we have some carriers that still haven't paid anything on any of the claims, and it's been more than a year.
It makes it more painful to watch because I know how the insurance system should work, and it's broken here.
Now, Jim Adderholt says that out of a great experience that he's had in life. For 5 years, he was the insurance commissioner for the state of Indiana under Governor Mike Pence at the time, our former vice president. So he knows these insurance companies, he knows the industry, and he also has some tips for you to hopefully not find yourself in a sticky situation with insurance. Watch these here. So pick a carrier with a solid record and a reputation. Know who you're buying from. Also know your policy limits. Know your deductible. Talk to your agent like they're your best friend. Ask them to explain everything to you. Make sure you have professionals guiding you through this, and also know your coverages. Know whether it's wind, know whether it's flood, know what you have. Guys, it's amazing. As in talking with Jim, one of his neighbors had insurance and has been paying into it for, what, decades, 20 years. He didn't have the right insurance, so he was completely uncovered when Ian hit. He did not have insurance that would cover him, and he's been paying for it for decades.
We've got tens, even 100,000 people moving into Florida the last, say, 10 years or so. Should it be the type of thing where they should check insurance at the same time they're checking perhaps the price of a home that they want to buy? Absolutely.
People need to be experts on their insurance. Ask questions. Even Jim was saying, know your agent, have them explain things to you. Also, if you need to, because some of these policy documents are 75, 100 pages long, sit down with your attorney. Know them chapter and verse.
Just real quick, meteorologically, we were lucky in 2023. 2023.
Right.
We had a lot of these tropical cyclones recurve out to sea away from North America's east coast. That is not always going to be the case. Heads up, next year could be very different.
All right, Justin Michaels, thanks. We'll see you back come up next hour. So, still ahead, we got your weekend